Please be seated. Welcome to the second day of the Every 15 Minutes program. My name is Yvonne, and this is Brian and Julian. Today we will hear an opening statement and see the short film of the previous day's events.
The students who participated in this event attended an overnight retreat last night, and they will be sharing letters written to their parents about things they wish they could have said to them before they died.
Parents and friends of students participants also attended an evening retreat and will share letters written to their children. Lastly, we will hear from Miss Lewis Roy. Lewis will be sharing her story with us.
We'd like to welcome Captain Michael Knox from the San Jose Police Department. Please welcome him.
Good morning. Every 15 minutes is a two-day program that challenges you to think about drinking, driving, personal safety, and the responsibility of making mature decisions when lives are involved. When I say you, I include all of the adults, teachers, and parents here today as well. You may think I'm going to talk to you about drinking, about driving, intoxicated, and alcohol, how car crashes are the leading cause of death in teenagers. But I am not. I'm going to talk to you about judgment. As law enforcement personnel, EMTs, paramedics, firefighters, and nurses, we don't want to hear that you were arrested because you didn't exercise good judgment. We don't want to hear that you were killed or paralyzed because you made a bad decision. Your choices as young adults can have an impact on the rest of your life. Imagine filling out a college application or a job application, and one of the questions is, what is the most important decision you have had to make in life? How many of you would answer, I called my mom for a ride home after a party? Or I just slammed a couple of 40s or had some vodka shots before trying to drive my best friend home? You have reached the point where your choices not only impact you, but your family and friends as well. To all the living dead who willingly took on the burden of experience in this program, we hope that it has touched you in some way, and we pray we have given you the information you need to have a happy, healthy, and long life. To the students sitting in this gym, we hope that you have seen these last 2 days will give you an understanding of what a family goes through when the wrong choice is made. We trust that you make good decisions and exercise good judgment. To the staff, we thank you for your understanding during these past 2 days. We know that these 2 days take away from precious class time. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to teach your students an important life lesson. In a moment, a video of yesterday's events.
Ramiro Rodriguez, age 17 and a junior at Overfelt High School, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol. His loving parents, Ramiro and Lupe Rodriguez, and his devoted siblings, Julissa and Alexander, survived him. Gary Walker, also known as Gare Bear, age 17, a junior at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Yvette Jimenez was 17 years old and a junior at Overfelt High School.
Esmeralda Garcia Diaz, age 16, a sophomore at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence.
Monica Escobar, age 17 and a senior at Overfelt High School, tragically died in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol. Nicholas Lozano, age 15, and a sophomore at Overfelt High School, tragically died today in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Natalia Rincon, age 15, a sophomore at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver driving under the influence of alcohol.
Enrique Ayala, age 18, a senior at Overfelt High School, tragically died today in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Kenny Saturn, age 14 and a freshman at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol. Jesse Anthony Quijada III, age 16, and a junior at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver driving under the influence of alcohol.
Milani was age 14, a freshman at Overfelt High School, tragically died today in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Vanessa DeAnda, age 15 and a freshman at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver driving under the influence of alcohol.
Marilyn Lopez Mota, age 16 and a junior at Overfelt High School, tragically died in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Bianca Pacheco, age 16 and a sophomore here at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol. Trinette Forbes, age 18 and a senior at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Lupita Sandoval, age 16, a junior at Overfelt High School, tragically died today in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol. Andy Tat, age 16, a sophomore at Overfelt High School, tragically died in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Brandon Montez, age 17 and a senior at Overfelt, was tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol. Vanessa Moran, age 18 and a senior at Overfelt, tragically died in an automobile collision caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol.
Vito Kayala, and principal of Overfelt High School, tragically died in an automobile accident caused by a driver under the influence of alcohol. His loving wife, Lucy, and his devoted daughter, Sienna, survive him.
Emergency services, what are you reporting?
There's been an accident. Please send an ambulance.
What's the location of the emergency?
It's the high school.
Okay, we've got help on the way. Do you have any other information?
Well, it's that time of year, so I guess maybe that alcohol was probably involved. Alcohol was probably involved. Alcohol was probably involved. Alcohol was probably involved.
There's one finality, one right there.
Approximately 17-year-old male.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
It looks like she has an open skull fracture with some brain matter exposed.
First test I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you follow my finger, okay? Follow my finger with your eyes only without moving your head. Again, try not to move your head. While you're looking down at your raised foot, you're going to start counting 1001, 1002, 1003.
1001, 1002, 1002, 1001, 1002.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop that test right there. Go, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And we'll go 11, 17. All right, right now I'm placing you under arrest for driving under the influence, okay? You've had way too much to drink tonight.
Your son Romero on the way to school today was involved in alcohol-related traffic.
Mag 3, we're inbound. Code 3 with 10-minute ETA. Hey buddy, you there? Still unresponsive. I think he's bleeding internally.
Blood pressure's dropping, 78/50. All right, this is John Doe, approximately 17-year-old male involved in a vehicle accident. Right now, his major complaint, he's unresponsive.
I got no rhythm on the monitor. Can we check for a pulse, please?
I do not have a radial pulse here.
So we have no activity on the monitor, he's got no pulse, and we've got no cardiac activity on ultrasound. We're not able to save him. Time of death, 11:28.
Hi, are you guys Emilio's family?
Yes.
Emilio was brought in to us by the paramedics. It sounds like he was in a pretty bad car accident. When he came into us here, he was never responsive. His heart stopped beating. I'm so sorry to tell you this, but Emilio's died.
Trauma's here.
This
Sweetheart,
is Jane
hold your
Doe.
hand.
She's a 16-year-old female. She's the unrestrained passenger.
On your count.
Go ahead, 1, 2, 3. Unrestrained passenger of a head-on vehicle collision. She's currently responsive to painful stimuli only.
Hello, what's your name?
2 lines are
Miss.
She's got
Unresponsive.
bilateral.
16 French NG2.
Let's give OR a heads up.
Let's make sure we have blood over available in the operating room.
We start massive transfusion. I'll give them a call.
Second unit
Excellent,
is
thank
going.
you.
Soy una de las enfermeras aquí de emergencia y quiero explicarles lo que le pasó a su hija. Estuvo en un accidente que fue muy grave. Van a operarla a ver qué es lo que está pasando porque le encontraron que tenía mucha sangre en el abdomen. ¿Okay? Por ahorita no va a poder ir a verla porque está muy grave.
¿Y a qué hora la voy a poder mirar?
O posiblemente no va a ser por unas horas.
And now the friends of the living dead will read their letters.
Dear Yvette, you were an older sister to me, and even if you're gone now, you will still continue to be an older sister to me inside my heart. You knew situations that nobody else did that were about me. I trusted you a lot. Even though we wouldn't be kicking it a lot, every time I'd be with you or have the chance to talk to you, I felt you'd be here for me. I felt a vibe that I've never felt with anybody else. It's a bond that is hard to explain. I wish I could go back in time and appreciate you more. Knowing you ain't here really breaks my heart because I've never really experienced the loss. To have you be gone now, it blows me away. I would have wanted to see you grow a lot more with all your amazing and beautiful sides and talents that you had. Yvette, your poetry would give me... I loved your poems that you had showed me. There were poems that somebody like me can relate to, poems that touch me very deep in my heart, as well as my soul. I truly am gonna miss you. Even if you made the mistake that led you towards death, always keep in mind that I will keep your name alive, and that I mean for sure. You might have been struggling through high school, but I love how even with your struggles at school, home, you would make it through. You would survive through them. I admired you and looked up to you so much in every single way. Seriously. You may be gone now, but you're continuing to be a survivor to me. I wish to go back in time and let you know all of this, but sadly it breaks me solely to say that none of us know when's our last day. None of us are prepared for death. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for being here when I had nobody to pour out my situations from my childhood that had happened. Your death is just making me stronger. You being up in heaven is definitely teaching me a lesson to be careful with my actions. I appreciate you being here. Once again, thank you, sister. Our memories will stay alive, no doubt. Going to Oakland with you and T was a dope experience. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget any day that was spent with you. I love you, chula.
Dear Emilio, Licon, you were my brother. I loved you from the heart. You always know how to make me smile and laugh. Even at practice, even during the games, when we're supposed to be serious, you always had somebody smiling. During schools, you were always playing around. You know, you're never sad, always upbeat. Anybody that saw you, they always smiled. Every day, before third, you always come talk to me, and no matter what mood I was in, you could always put a smile on my face, and I appreciate you for that. I've never seen a happier person in my life, and out of all the people, it had to be you. It kills me inside to see that my brother is gone. And I can speak for all his friends when I say that you will truly be missed. And I've known you for so long, and you took a piece of my heart with you when you died. I can't imagine how his parents feel, how his girlfriend feels, but I know he's watching down on us right now. And I ask everyone who's ever drinking and driving, just please think before you do something stupid. And ask yourself, is drinking and driving really worth losing your life or anyone else's life? And don't be selfish, don't be sorry. Be careful, don't drink and drive. Life is too precious. I love you, little bruh. Rest easy.
And now the parents of the living dead will read their letters.
Emilio, if I could turn back time, I would have told you that I loved you because I didn't get to say bye. I didn't get to hug you one last time. I didn't get to give you a kiss goodbye one last time. And now you're gone. And I didn't say I love you, Emilio. If I could turn back time, I would have told you not to leave and stay home. But I didn't. And you left. And I didn't protect you. I'm sorry, son. I'm supposed to protect you, and I failed you. Emilio, can you forgive me? I love you with all of my heart. And I want you to know that you are my shining star and my loving boy. Always. Emilio, you are my world. You were my hope for the future because you are so very smart. Emilio, you could have been anything you wanted, a doctor, a lawyer, a politician, because you were just so determined. Emilio, you are so amazing at everything you do. And your 3 sisters and your 2 brothers looked up to you because you have such a good heart. Emilio, you left me and your dad heartbroken because we know you won't be coming back home to us. Your dad and I know that you will be safe in heaven, and now you will be our guardian angel to your younger sisters and brothers. We will truly miss you, Emilio. We love you.
Before I read this letter, I want to say that I read it in English, but not in Spanish, because my daughter loves to learn English. So I hope I can send a message to you guys, what I say in this letter. Natalia, once you has been gone, I want to express some thought that you are not going to be able to hear anymore. In the last days, before you die, you held an internal tough struggle, trying to determine what it was right or wrong to do it. In this internal struggle, you held 2 things were in balance. The first one, the right you had to determine whether whatever you want to do. The second, the consequence you will face when you make a decision. I remember you were always trying to defend your point of view, that as a team, you had the right to do whatever you want to do without measure the consequence, just because you feel the momentum to do it. It was worse when did that happen under the influence of alcohol. I try always to explain you that everything you do has consequence, and before you do something you have to think about it. It determines if you are going to be able to handle the consequence or not. Now you are gone, paying high price, but I do not care about. I try to explain you. I feel very sad and devastated, and your family in Colombia, to how the life, a beautiful life, is gone. And I promise you that I won't give up to teach your just born cousin Jaden to learn how to hear and appreciate the opinion of other people who want to teach you how to make right decisions. Hasta siempre, Natalia.
And now the living dead will read their letters.
Dear Mom, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies in an alcohol-related traffic collision. And today, I died. I never got the chance to tell you. I never got the chance to tell you that even though I was always rebelling, growing up, my state of mind, I always wanted to grow out of that. Those times when you would have to pick me up because I was in trouble, either with the police or somewhere at school, I always wanted to make it up to you. Those days held in rooms, scared out of my mind. You were there. My childhood years weren't supposed to be like that. It scares my thoughts because my little brother and sister are at that age. I wouldn't want them to feel how it felt being through so much trouble through all my middle school and high school years. Now that I'm dead, I want you to take care of my brother and sister because my family will always be my number one thing. They will always have a special place in my heart. And it only takes one bad decision to end your life. And now that I'm dead, it's too late.
Dear Mom and Dad, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies in an alcohol-related traffic collision, and today I died. I never got the chance to tell you thank you. Thank you for loving me and being the only two people I knew would never leave my side. I never got the chance to apologize for everything I've done wrong, for all the wrong decisions I've made, because I know you've taught me better. For all the times I lied to you and probably failed to you as a daughter. I wasn't able to show you every day how much I appreciate everything you've done and sacrificed for me. And even though I know I do tell you this every day, I want you to know that I love you too. And no phrase can ever express how much I do. With all my love, Monica. P.S. Tell Juan and Diego I'm sorry for not being the older sister or role model they deserved.
Dear brother, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies in an alcohol-related traffic collision, and today, I died. I never got the chance to tell you how much I appreciate you. Better you are not just my brother, but also my father. I will never forget when we used to live in Stockton, and every day you bought my fat ass a lollipop. And the one day you forgot, you ran all the way back just to buy me one. The day you stepped up to my dad so he wouldn't hit me again, you became my protector. The day you talked to me, and my mom didn't come back for me, you became my hero. And the day you took me in when no one else would, you became, at just 16, you became my father. Remember when Juanito kicked us out, and we cried all night saying we would never leave each other? Well, I promise that shit ain't gonna happen. I didn't move out because I wanted to. I moved out because I thought it would help you. I thought it would help you not waste so much money on me, so you wouldn't have to struggle with all the bills. I'm sorry if it made you feel unappreciated, brother. That wasn't my intention. Please forgive me. We're gonna make it out of here one day, and I'll make sure we do. Remember when I promised you I would graduate college and buy a house for us when I was 12? Well, that promise is still gonna happen. I fucking love you, bro. I got into UCLA. I fucking swear we'll make it out of here. Thanks to you, I never went into a foster home. Thanks to you, I never went into a homeless shelter. My brother, my father, I appreciate you and I love you.
We would like to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Ms. Louise Roy. Ms. Roy is a retired teacher from San Benito High School. She lost her son in an alcohol-related crash. She is here today to share her experience and her story with us. Please welcome her.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. Like I said, I'm Louise Roy, and I'm a retired teacher from San Benito High School. I taught art and ceramics there for 22 years. I'm also a grandma to a little 6-year-old who just started kindergarten, and I have 2 children, Denise, who works at Hazel Hawkins Clinic as a nurse practitioner, and also a son, Brian. And today I'm going to introduce you to my son, Brian. And so we're going to start with the day I brought him home from the hospital. He was adorable. I never get tired of looking at those pictures. Well, the last time I saw Brian was on his birthday, June 3rd. We met at the teacher's lounge at my school. He was picking up his girlfriend, Debbie. She worked in the secretarial center. So we met up there, and I gave him a hug and a kiss and wished him a happy birthday. We were planning to celebrate his birthday the following weekend because my mother was gravely ill up in Davis in the hospital. I had hoped Brian would come with me that day, but he had other plans. He wanted to celebrate his birthday with his friends. So he reminded me that now he was of legal age and he was going to celebrate. He was 21. And I reminded him that his best friend, Chris, had gotten drunk on his birthday and ended up in jail, and his mother had to pick him up from jail, bail him out. And so I said to Brian, so what are you going to do to be safe on your birthday? And he said, well, Mom, I'm going to walk through town. I'm not going to drink and drive. He made me the promise. Well, I have to admit, back then, I used to believe that, if you drink, you don't drive. But I'm here to tell you that once you have one drink, all the promises you make go out the window. You think it's not going to happen to you. I'm here to tell you that it can. The call came from Hazel Hawkins Hospital, June 4th, 2 a.m. They said that Brian had been in a motorcycle accident, and could I please get down there as quickly as possible? I tried to get some information from them, but they wouldn't tell me anything over the phone. They just said I needed to get there as soon as possible. I was living with another teacher at the time, and she asked to drive me. And at first I thought I could drive, and then I realized I was shaking so badly that there was no way I was in condition to drive. So she took me to the hospital. Hollister's a small town, so it's not far, but it was a foggy night, and it seemed to take an eternity to get there. But as soon as I got there, they rushed me in, and they brought me to an emergency room. I'd been to that room before with Brian. He'd been playing Frisbee at the community college and had gotten poison oak. So I just expected to see him sitting on the table cracking jokes with his friends, just typical Brian. But instead I walked into a room where all his friends were crying. And that's when the nurse told me that Brian had died. Well, my knees buckled and I fell to the ground and I started screaming. The nurse held me, and when I calmed down, she said, would you like to see your son? Well, at first I think I might have screamed out no, like, was she crazy? Does any mother want to see her dead son? And then I realized I had to see my Brian. I had to go see him. So this part's a little foggy, but I think she was trying to prepare me, and she said something about a tube. And then she brought me to this room, and it was cold, and it was dimly lit and very still and quiet. And Brian was just laying there. He looked like he was sleeping. He didn't have a mark on him. He had been wearing his helmet. So I went over to him, and I gave him a kiss, and I hugged him. And that's when the air escaped from that tube that she was preparing me about. And I just screamed out that he was alive, and then I realized, I guess that's when it really dawned on me that he was gone. And so that's when I turned to God and I said, Dear Jesus, please take care of my baby. His friends tried to take the keys away from him. but he only had a few blocks to go. And so he got on his motorcycle and he ran the stop sign. He probably never saw the truck that hit him. He went flying over the handlebars, and that's what crushed his lungs. I could go on and tell you about all the people his death has affected, starting with the young officers, the two of them that were first on the scene who tried to resuscitate him. They were waiting for me. They wanted to let me know how sorry they were. They wanted to tell me how hard they had tried to revive him. Then there's a truck driver. This truck driver has to live the rest of his life knowing that he killed a 21-year-old young man. I don't know how he lives with that. It wasn't his fault. Then there's Denise, his sister. Brian wasn't there when Denise graduated from USC nursing school. He wasn't there for her wedding. He wasn't there for when Sophie was born. He's not there for any holidays or birthdays. And little Sophie never got to meet her uncle. And she's so much like him. She's so sweet. You know, I've made a really good life for myself. I have great friends. I chose a career that I really enjoyed doing, teaching. But there's always going to be an empty place in my heart for Brian. I wake up in the morning and think of him. I go to bed at night, I think of him. I go on vacation, I see something and I think, oh, Brian would like that. And then I realize he's gone. I don't care how many years will go by. So many years have passed, and I still miss him. So why? You must be thinking, why do I do this? Why do I come and tell you my story and relive the worst day of my life, the most tragic thing that's ever happened to me? Well, if just one of you hears my story, if just one of you takes it to heart, and you make a wise choice, and that your family and your friends don't have to go through what my family and I have gone through, then this is all worth it. Look around, all the people who care. You know, I'm really sick and tired of young people dying. I had a lot of my students die from drinking and driving. They were all smart like you. They're all beautiful, wonderful young people, very much loved, like my Brian. So my wish for you is that you make it to your future. My wish for you is that you make wise choices. And I really appreciate you listening to my story. And I want to congratulate the class of 2015. And I want to wish you the best. And God bless you all. Thank you very much.
We would now like to present Mr. Kiala.
Okay, let me see if my voice still works. Let me start today. A lot of you don't know this, but we spent the last 24 hours with a group of law enforcement officers and people who dedicate their lives to helping us when we get in trouble. So I'd like to begin today with a moment of silence for San Jose Police Department Officer Mike Johnson, who was killed in the line of duty last Tuesday, March 24th, 2015. Our thoughts are with his family, his friends, his fellow law enforcement officers who work tirelessly to keep us safe every day. Thank you for all you do. So I also wrote a letter, and I'm just going to read it to you. Dear Overfelt students, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies from an alcohol-related traffic accident, and yesterday I died. And it made me realize that I am not ready to say goodbye. I really do not want to die. I enjoy life. I want to grow old with my wife, Lucy. I can't wait to see what adventures our future holds. I want to see my daughter, Sienna, grow up. I want to see who she'll become as an adult. What's she going to do with her life? I can't wait to see that. And I really want to be here with you, with my colleagues, my coworkers, students and their families, the Overfelt community. I don't just want to be here with you. I want all of you here with me. Because every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies from an alcohol-related traffic accident, and yesterday it could have been one of you. Students, I want to have this opportunity to tell you that I think the world is a better place with each one of you in it. You make us laugh. You make us think. You're important to us. We don't want to lose you. I don't know how much you're going to accomplish in your lives. Can't measure how many people you'll make happy or how many ways you'll improve the lives of others. I do know that you're going to make a difference. You will make our world a better place as long as you are alive in it. I also know that as teenagers, you make choices every day, more mature choices, and choices that have even greater consequences. Some of those choices have positive consequences. Work hard in class, you get good grades, go to UCLA. And we know what happens when you can make bad choices, because we've been hearing about that all day. So I hope you think about this when you make those important decisions. Consider the risks. Think about what is at stake. Life is precious. Think about it. It's worth living. Every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies from an alcohol-related traffic accident. Please don't let that be any of us. Sincerely, Mr. Kiala. Before we go, I want to thank the parents for what we put you through so we could teach this message, my wife for what I put you through, teachers, staff, and volunteers who helped to make these 2 days possible, and a special thanks to Mr. Headley and the planning committee, Ms. Murillo, Mr. Pinza, Ms. Davis, Ms. Temez, Ms. Garcia, Ms. Beebe, Mr. Delgado, who put so much effort into helping us learn about the value of our lives. And of course, none of this happens without the support of Overfelt graduate, Virginia Cortinas Jones. Stand up, please, Virginia. When Virginia graduated from Overfelt High School, I don't think she knew what a big impact she was going to be making on lives at this point in her life. Can't wait to see what all of you are going to do. I know you have a lot to think about. I know this will help us all make right decisions. I love you all. Go Royals.